intrinsically tied to the public perception of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and its commitment to the rule of law. While INEC possesses the constitutional mandate to organize elections, recent judicial rulings, controversies over electoral guidelines, and lagging electoral reforms have cast a critical spotlight on the integrity of the coming 2027 general election and off-cycle polls. Now, that is a significant threat to electoral legitimacy, centers on the clash between INEC's operational guidelines and recent Federal High Court judgments. Regarding the overreach on timelines, courts have ruled that INEC has overstepped its statutory bounds by attempting to dictate deadlines for political parties, primary elections, and membership registration. Under the Electoral Act, these fall under the domestic and constitutional domain of the political parties themselves. The appeal dilemma of INEC's decision on these declaratory judgments has sparked warnings from civil society organizations as critics argue that contesting these rulings damages public confidence and makes INEC appear as a partisan stakeholder rather than a neutral umpire. The slow pace of electoral reforms and the credibility of future elections that is deeply affected by the status of the Electoral Act, which currently contains loopholes that fueled post-election litigations in previous cycles. Opposition figures and CSOs have repeatedly have urged the National Assembly to prioritize critical electoral reforms, such as making the electronic transmission of results mandatory and tightening sanctions for electoral offenses before the next electoral cycle. We've been struggling to at least resolve these enormous challenges confronting it after spending trillions of naira to give Nigeria the desired electoral process, electing their candidates without money inducement, violence, ballot snatching, and others. Now the question is, what long-term measures is INEC putting in place to rebuild public confidence to secure and preserve legitimacy of the upcoming elections? To discuss this, we will be conversing with the spokesperson of the Commission, Wilfred Osilama Ifoga. In the course of the program tonight, we will be reviewing opposition political parties' chances ahead of Ekiti and Osun governorship elections, as well as the 2027 general election after primaries fallout. To join us in the conversation is the national chairman of the Democratic Leadership Alliance, DLA, and a chieftain of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, under the leadership of Senator David Mark, OLADIMEJI Bankole. But before then, we'll be right back after this short break. Don't go away. I am Ugianawe Udwimo, Democracy Today on Africa Independent Television.
In the hallowed chambers where laws are forged and a nation's destiny is decided.
This is your parliamentary program, Inside the Parliament on AIT.
Voices rise, opinions clash, debates ignite.
We cannot be apologetic in the discharge of our constitutional duties as lawmakers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The burden of proving that the elections have been conducted peacefully and in accordance with law must shift to INEC.
From the Senate to the House of Representatives, this is where policies are tested, laws are crafted, and authority is held to account.
We spoke to some lawmakers on their opinions of the document presented by the President.
Every motion, every argument carries the hopes of millions.
We need more hospitals, more health clinics in communities so that they can effectively take care of the primary health need of our people.
The questions are tough. The exchanges are intense.
Mr. President, you can have your way, but I will have my say. You can use the gavel, and I will use my voice.
And those who want the proviso are 55 in number. And so the proviso says.
But who truly stands for the people? Who is driving the change that defines our tomorrow?
Let us tell ourselves the truth. Why are we here talking about LGBT, GTBT, whatever?
Get the answers on Where Nigeria Decides on Inside the Parliament on AIT every Tuesday, 4:30 p.m.
Okay, so INEC spokesperson is our first guest on the program tonight. It's Mr. Wilfred Osilama Ifoga. Welcome to the program. Well, we are aware that the INEC has been conducting the continuous voters registration, across the country. Let's first of all get your update from you on what it has been like since you started the process. Okay, let's go on a quick break. We'll be right back.
People, politics, and power brings context and clarity to issues and events in governance, democracy, and development. On People, Politics, and Power, we feature people who shape the events and define the issues.
A lot of the agencies are still struggling with implementation of freedom of information.
The government should come. We need Nigeria to work.
We examine the interplay and interaction of politics with power and their impact on policies and the people.
It's about getting the system to deliver the kind of electoral outcome that people will be happy with.
People, Politics, and Power with Imoni Amarere.
Will low-performing agencies be held to account? Or will the numbers fade after the headlines?
At 1 p.m. every Monday and Friday on AIT.
All right, Mr. Ifoga is still with us on the program. Mr. Ifoga, we're asking you before that technical glitch. What has it been like with the continuous voters registration? Just give us an update.
All right, I did, as before the technical challenges, I did say that we started the severe exercise last year, precisely August 18, with the online registration portal for those who have never registered before so that they can indicate their interest. And thereafter, the physical process started on the 25th of August 2025. And we've had 3 phases since we began. The first phase actually ended on December 10th, 2025. And we began the second phase on January 5th, 2026, which we will run it up on June 10th so that we can actually now start processing all we have had from the field in preparation for the 2027 general elections.
Some Nigerians are asking, because we've seen your jingles where you have used the major Nigerian languages to pass this message across to Nigerians on the level of why they should participate in the process. Can you tell us about the level of participation so far, as in the turnout in maybe some of the places you have been to?
All right, yes. So the turnout has been encouraging because even right now, I think some of the challenges we are currently getting is that a lot of persons are out there and they are a bit crowding some of the designated centers that we have. Because initially when we started, we deployed the registration devices at the state head office, all INEC offices in the state office, and as well as the 774 local government area offices of INEC. And later we devolved to the registration areas. Right now, we've gone beyond that level by devolving also to a process whereby the registration devices is now taking round communities on an agreed schedule with stakeholders. So right now they are going, especially for those who might not have the means of getting to some of these designated centers because of distance. So right now the registration officers are now going around from community to community so that those who might not be able to come out for logistic problem, they can now be attended to. The turnout has been encouraging as well.
Is INEC partnering political parties? What is the level of political parties' participation in this process?
I think the level of partnership we expect from them, apart from them sensitizing other persons, is just for them to be, at least let them watch what is happening, observe, so that they will not think probably another group is trying to outsmart another group in the process of registration. So I think the level of partnership is for them to observe. And then other collaborators we have, especially in sensitization, are non-governmental organizations and other civil society groups helping pass this message across, because most of them in the discharge of their duties, their primary duties, part of sensitization for the registration exercise, they also take along. So we've, even before now, we've, engaged them on what they need to, tell this person so that they all be in sync with what is required of the program.
Well, Mr. Efoga, there's this talk about, we've seen 3 indigenous languages in your jingles, the 3 major languages. People are asking, what about other ethnic nationalities? Like, do you partner agencies like the NOA so that they can use their reach in communities to use this local language to communicate with voters who will not really understand English and are not outside these 3 major ethnic groups that you have used in your jingles?
All right. Yes, we partner with National Nutrition Agency in trying to sensitize the people so that they can use, because just as we have our officials in all local government areas in Nigeria, they also have their mobilization officers there. But outside that, I know maybe on the national TV stations, you see the 3 major languages, but at the state level, the commission has also done well to, through the state offices, also translate some of these messages into the other various dialects that exist within the states. So it's not just because we see at the national level, the 3 major ones. At the state level, we also have a means of, getting this message across to them, but also translating into the various dialects in that particular state.
Well, Mr. Efoga, I think we have to maybe leave the CVR for now and maybe focus on the off-cycle, the upcoming off-cycle elections. Ekiti is just like 2 weeks away. So I just want you to tell us the level of preparations for that particular exercise. That is, I think it's June 20th, right?
Yes, it's June 20th. So it's not just about about 17 days from now, or 13 days from now, so to speak, 13 days from now.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, and in terms of our preparation, I think just about a week or 2 ago, the chairman of the commission, alongside other national commissioners, we are on ground in Ekiti to assess the level of preparedness and also to engage the staff and other groups in order to ensure that they are, arched in order to discharge their responsibilities as enshrined in the electoral framework. Also, at that visit too, the Honorable Chairman was also there, where the political parties participating in the election were all part of those who signed the peace accord, which is actually coordinated by the National Peace Committee. Then another thing I want people to know, for Ekiti, they have 1,059,360 registered voters, and they have 16 local government areas, and which they have also 177 electoral wards, and they have 2,445 polling units. So for Ekiti, about 7 activities out of the 9 has actually been implemented. So what is remaining is 2, which is the 8th one will now be the stoppage of public campaign, 24 hours to the election day, and thereafter the election day proper. Even as we speak, the commission just concluded the training of supervisory presiding officers that will be taking place, and I will be supervising the elections in that in Ekiti, as well as even within this week also, the presiding officers and the assistant presiding officers will also be trained. These are all parts of the preparation. Even as we speak to, all observers that want to participate in the election have been accredited, and the lists have been released as well. And also for media group that want to be part of it also, the portal is also open for them to, get registered so that they can cover it and they will be properly identified for the election. So, so far so good. Everything is going on smoothly. And within this week, hopefully too, the Honorable Chairman will also have a stakeholders meeting with the people of Ekiti and all other stakeholders, including ICES meeting, and also engaging some of the vendors that will be providing services during the election to ensure that they are properly charged, and so that they will know the importance of what this election stands to bring.
You see, there's talking about elections now. If you listen to my prologue a while ago, you discover that the major challenge confronting the commission now is the issue of voter confidence and the credibility of the process. And for some time now, we've been hearing stories about someone gaining access into the INEC portal and was able to do some activities there and all that. And INEC has not really been able to come forward, and really give us a reason, to know that going forward, we won't have this occurrence again. So I want you to speak to that.
All right, now, yes, what you're trying to bring up here now is the trust in the commission. I want to say this. First of all, the commission has its mission and vision. And our mission is to conduct free, fair, credible, inclusive elections. And the vision is for us to be one of the best election management body globally.
The stories now.
Like the narration you gave just now about the alleged breach of data in the commission, I want to clear this for those listening. Yes, there was no external breach of the data of the commission as it concerns the register of voters. But what actually happened is that it's unfortunate that a staff, who has access, who was given controlled access to it, took a picture of the data page of a registered voter and actually shared it with someone who was ordinarily not supposed to have a view of that, and that person got it exposed. So I want to assure those listening that it wasn't an external person that breached that security as far as the INEC database is concerned, but somehow a staff exposed that information. And then for us, I want to say this, that the commission is a product of the law, and whatever we are doing is guided by the law. And whatever we are still trying to do now is that we have actually reeled out the programs and activities for the off-cycle elections, by-elections that we are going to have simultaneously with the off-cycle election for Ekiti. Remember, there are about 6 states that will be having by-elections on the 20th of June, just as we are going to conduct the governorship election in Ekiti. And even in preparation for the general election, that's about less than 222 days from now, all activities we have outlined, we want every stakeholder to work out as we implement them, especially when it gets to the sensitive part of it. Yes, whenever they feel there are gray areas, they should come forward to raise their petitions about it or ask questions so that they can get clarity on what we are doing. I think that is the best that we can do for now. Yes, definitely. Assumptions here and there, and well, it's good to like keep us on our toes. At every point in time, we're trying to what
Please, Mr. Ifoga, please, can you adjust your earpiece so we can hear you clearly? Yes. Okay. No, please, maybe you should adjust it properly because we can. Yes, exactly. Okay. Can you hear me now? I think we have to go on a short break to rectify this technical glitch.
The stories now break online. Don't miss anything from our real-time updates and exclusive content. Follow and participate in discussions on live TV studio programs to shape the narrative.
Can you hear me?
Subscribe,
Can you hear me in the studio?
engage, and share from AIT.live at AIT_online on X, AIT Online on Facebook, official AIT Live on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads on YouTube. Stay connected with AIT on air, online, on live.
I don't know if they can hear me now, okay?
Yeah, we are still on Democracy Today. We are very sorry for that technical glitch. At least I think that has been rectified now. So, Mr. Ifoga, we're talking about the data issue with INEC, and I understand you've been able to clarify that it was internal that the issue actually came from. But now, from what you've explained, some persons will be worried if we can have such level of breach from your commission, from somebody inside the commission. How sure are Nigerians that during the general elections, people can also get access to those persons inside the commission to harvest information? Nigerians need to be very sure. This is the credibility issue I earlier pointed out.
Okay, I believe you can hear me now.
Yes, clearly.
All right, I want to say this. For every staff of the commission, it is expected that in the discharge of their duty, they uphold high level of ethical values that actually, guide the kind of work we do. But then, just like Shakespeare, one of you said, there's no act to tell the mind's construction on the face. So we cannot tell every individual that works with the commission what their plans are. We just want to believe that, yes, since you have been employed in the commission, whether as a permanent staff or an ad hoc personnel, you are expected to work by the laid down rules. So we expect, yes, because I want to believe we don't just in the commission bring out certain activities on how to implement them. We learn from other places to see how best is done, and then we try to domesticate it in our activities. So we want to believe with what we have put in on ground for us to, as we approach the 2027 general election, we expect high level of compliance. So, however, there are, for those who flout some of these rules and that have been laid down, of course, they will be disciplined.
All right. Now, the Ekiti election and the other off-cycle elections, we usually encounter challenges as journalists most times when we cover these elections. Especially on election day, you tell us that you've made preparations for distribution of electoral materials. But sometimes we discover that some areas, because of security challenges, maybe some riverine areas and all that, there's always a problem of logistics. So how are you taking care of these ahead of this? At least this Ekiti election now is a litmus test. How are you taking care of these issues?
All right, yeah, the election is a project. It's not just an event that takes place in a day. It's something that has been planned right from time. And the issue of logistics, it's one challenge we've been trying to, and that is why, over time, there has been this late arrival to polling units, which definitely affect commencement of polls. And that is why we have the arrangement of the racks that a day before the election, all election officials are expected to camp in a designated area within the ward. And that is where the election officials will now start moving to the various units, to carry out their duties. This arrangement ensures that no matter what, maybe maximum 7:30 on election day, they are already there for them to move. And two, and because of the distance, too, the involvement of vehicles for those on land and boats for those of them that will access their polling units using the rivers and other means as well. The logistic has to come. The commission does not have the resources for most of these things, so we involve those that can provide us with this logistic arrangement. So we do hope from the lessons we've learned from other elections that have taken place. We had Anambra election last year, and also the FCT elections, which we had at the beginning of this year in February. We've actually learned some lessons from that. So we do hope some of these lessons and the way to overcome them will now be, tested in Ekiti. And we do hope that, because just like the chairman said, the early opening of poll goes a long way to show the credibility of the elections and the success of elections. Because first of all, it will douse tensions, and it also let the people know that we are ready and everything will go on smoothly.
So before I let you go, let's just talk briefly on the general election. We've seen different political parties with various party chairmen. One is recognized by INEC, the other one is on the other side, and they all have presidential candidates. How is INEC going to resolve all this before the election? Because this is a very serious issue that we have to deal with.
Okay, the commission has its own rules and guidelines for political parties to carry out their activities. So we do hope that they have followed some of these guidelines. And also remember, the Electoral Act 2026 is there, which is the Constitution of the Federal Republic, the Electoral Act 2026, and the INEC guideline is actually what's supposed to guide them. So definitely we expect this is what they have followed. And like I said, there are certain decisions that will be taken even at the party level. Remember, INEC will not meddle into the affairs of political parties. So whatever they come up with, and that is what is agreed by the party in general to give to the commission will definitely do. Then the courts are also there in some cases. They also give their verdict or ruling on what to do. And that is what definitely the commission will abide with. So for now, the parties this is for them to do whatever they want to do. At the end of the day, they should be able to harmonize what they want, and whatever records the commission has that has complied with established laws governing the process, that is what the commission will definitely take.
Thank you so much, Mr. Osifo, Ifoga, for...
You can imagine calling me Osifo, you and it's Osilama, you not change it to
Mr. Osilama Ifoga, thank you so much for joining us on the program. We have been speaking with Mr. Wilfred Osilama Ifoga, the INEC spokesperson. He joined us on the program to shed some light on some issues that we have been, Nigerians have been asking, and the preparations for the Ekiti off-cycle elections and the general elections. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Let's now go on a short break. When we come back, we will be joined by some other political parties. They are going to discuss preparations of opposition political parties towards the 2027 general elections. Let's go on a short break now.
Politics and power brings context and clarity to issues and events in governance, democracy, and development. On People, Politics and Power, we feature people who shape the events and define the issues.
A lot of the agencies are still struggling with implementation of freedom of information.
The government should come. We need Nigeria to work.
We examine the interplay and interaction of politics with power and their impact on policies and the people.
It's about getting the system to deliver the kind of electoral outcome that people will be happy with.
People, Politics and Power with Imoni Amarere.
Will low-performing agencies be held to account? Or will the numbers fade after the headlines?
At 1 p.m. every Monday and Friday on AIT. In the hallowed chambers where laws are forged and a nation's destiny is decided.
This is your parliamentary program, Inside the Parliament on AIT.
Voices rise, opinions clash, debates ignite.
We cannot be apologetic in the discharge of our constitutional duties as lawmakers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The burden of proving that the elections have been conducted peacefully and in accordance with law must shift to INEC.
From the Senate to the House of Representatives, this is where policies are tested, laws are crafted, and authority is held to account.
We spoke to some lawmakers on their opinions of the document presented by the President.
Every motion, every argument carries the hopes of millions.
We need more hospitals, more health clinics in communities so that they can take care of primary health needs.
The questions are tough. The exchanges are intense.
Mr. President, you can have your way, but I will have my say. You can use the gavel, and I will use my voice.
And those who want the proviso are 55 in number. And so the proviso says.
But who truly stands for the people? Who is driving the change that defines our tomorrow?
Let us tell ourselves the truth. Why are we here talking about LGBT, GTBT, whatever?
Get the answers on Where Nigeria Decides on Inside the Parliament on AIT every Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. The stories now break online. Don't miss miss anything from our real-time updates and exclusive content, follow and participate in discussions on live TV studio programs to shape the narratives. Subscribe, engage, and share from AIT.live at AIT_online on X, AIT Online on Facebook, official AIT Live on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads on YouTube. Stay connected with AIT. On air, online, on live.
Okay. I understand.
Thanks for remaining with us on the program. We are now going to our second segment where we'll be taking a look at the preparations of opposition political parties ahead of the 2027 general elections. We are joined in the studio by the national chairman of the Democratic Leadership Alliance, Samuel MEMEH. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
And the chieftain of the African Democratic Congress, OLADIMEJI, FABIYI. Welcome on the program.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you. You see, let's quickly go into preparations of opposition political parties. What is the preparations like ahead of the election?
It's in top gear. It's in top gear, and the evidence is, so it confirms that.
In your party, for instance,
yes.
we are aware that you finished your elections, although there were repos at the end of the presidential primaries. But what are you doing about this issue of the David Mark-led leadership and that of Dumebi Kachuku at the same time? Because the ADC right now has two presidential candidates.
As far as we are concerned, we don't know anybody who is Dumebi Kachuku, as far as we are concerned, because if you go to INEC portal today, there are only two names you see as leadership of ADC, which is Senator David Mark and Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola. So as far as INEC is concerned, as far as our law is concerned, we don't know who Kachuku Dumebi is.
But there are litigations. There are still
the Kachuku we know has been expelled from the party 2 years ago. So we don't talk about it because it means nothing to us. We are focused on what we want to do, focus on our strategies, on our preparation towards the election. We are giving APC the run for their money. We are providing credible opposition. So as far as we are concerned, that's where we are. So, I think that settles it.
Sometimes you wonder, if we go with this trend into the election, right, and eventually there's a court pronouncement, what happens? Yeah, well, because that's why Nigerians are asking.
Let the court pronouncement come first. It's in court. Let the court pronouncement come. When it comes, then we know what next to do. We can't continue. We can't start preempting what is not there yet. So when the court says this is okay, we went through this route in a couple of months back, where a court judgment said that INEC picked on the court judgment and said this is what we want to do, and we went back to court. Supreme Court settled it. So we wait. We don't have to bother ourselves, but let the court make the pronouncement. When the pronouncement is made, then we know what next to do.
You know what wonders a lot of people? During that primary election, you started with your governorship primary process.
No. We started with the legislative...
Let's even look at the governorship primary process. In Rivers State, for instance, right now you have two governorship candidates, right? I think Dagogo and one other man like that. And they are from your party. So you begin to wonder a whole lot of, and even we've seen the former SGF coming up with allegations of rigging and all that. So are you sure your party is intact at this time?
Now, let me answer you this way. It's going to understand the internal.
No, it's not my opinion.
I said Tom. I said so.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying I said so. That's exactly what I'm, because you don't understand the internal workings of the party. That is number one. Number two is the fact that which political party in Nigeria today, in quotes, the major political party, do you see that after their primaries there are no pockets of issues? Is this just limited to just ADC? That's exactly what I'm saying. If you look at PDP today, they're having their challenges. Even the APC Almighty that is causing all of these problems, they're having their own too. A few days ago, they called that they are going to review all the primaries they did. In some cases, they have double, triple candidates for this one office. So it's just like that. When during the election cycle, you see it. So ADC too had its own small issues that will be resolved by the internal mechanism provided by the party and the constitution of the party. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. So you don't worry about that. Let us sort our problems, and nobody should carry our problem in their head. We are here. We are going to, like you said, our presence here is to partner with Nigerians. Our presence here is to work with Nigerians and provide that credible opposition alternative, and that's what we're working towards. So you can't run away from all of this. That's the point. We don't like what I'm saying, because we see it happening in other political parties.
You know, the issue is simple. For a party that wants to take power from the ruling party, Nigerians should see a slightly different scenario from what we see in other countries. That is just the issue.
What should Nigerians see?
You know, we shouldn't see cracks in a political party.
Can you run away from cracks in political parties?
Ready to wrestle power.
My brother, is that what you're saying?
From the ruling party.
You can have a perfect system in any political setting?
Well,
because you're asking for too much then. Because if you say you wanted a perfect party in a political setting, then you are not being honest. We are not being honest with ourselves.
No, but the truth is, we expect something different.
The fact that we want to take over, the fact that we want to take over the country, or we want to provide answer, does not mean we won't have our challenges. Those are the challenges that are associated with political system anywhere, not only in Nigeria. So don't make this look like ADC must be that 100 perfect party that, no, that's not how it is. That's not how it is. Even the APC that has all the resources, that has the president, everything, they're having issues. So now people have seen, and the reason you see all of these things is because people are seeing ADC as a party that is coming up that can, there are so many interests. Look at some parts of the country, you see, for one office, if it's not a good party, for one office, one like a federal representative, 14 people, aspirants, collecting forms for just one constituency, and we have it like that. So it says something about the character and the way people are looking at ADC as this is a viable alternative where that can be relied upon.
Well,
beyond all of this.
Well, let's go to the DLA now. Your party, it's pretty young, and we expect that you are coming up with innovations that will make young people join your platform. So can you just tell us about your preparations for the elections and how it has been so far as a new political party?
Well, thank you very much for this question, and thank you, viewers. Well, we are doing everything possible, following the INEC guidelines, the electoral law, and our constitution. So far, we've conducted our primaries. And of course, I always say that one of the challenges that many political parties do have is, when they choose to go against their own rules and regulations, particularly guidelines, leading to selection of a candidate to represent such a political party in the main election. So that is the reason you see some of this crap. Well, for us as DLA, we've conducted our primaries, we've elected our representatives, so those who want to contest in the 2027 elections, and we are still trying to fine-tune our system to ensure that everything is in order, and very soon we'll begin our campaign to let Nigerians know that indeed there is a need for us to settle the issues of leadership in this country once and for all, and that is what the DLA, have come to, to ratify for our dear nation, Nigeria.
Well, we actually monitored that primary election for the presidential election, and after some few days, one lady came out, Busari, came out and was rejecting the outcome of that election, and she even said she has resigned. That is not expected from a new political party.
No, you see what happened in the case of the former member of our party, Busari, yes, that's her name. Just like what you see in every political party, soon after the party was registered, I think after about 2 months the party was registered, she contacted the party that she wanted to join, and we welcomed her. And again, she indicated her interest to contest for the office of the presidency. And we later discovered that she don't have the character. She couldn't pass the test of what is required based on the guideline and the leadership requirements set aside by the party. So the party didn't clear her, so she couldn't participate in the primary election. She couldn't scale through the clearance level. But you know, we eventually found out that she was planted into the party, you know, to carry out some bad jobs. So
do you have evidence of this? Because it's an allegation now.
No. This is not this is not an allegation, because if you listen to her, somebody who came into a political party, there are things I cannot say here, you know, in the national TV, but we are glad that we're able to identify her and we stop her before she could stop us. Because you rightly mentioned, just like a few seconds ago, about what is going on in the ADC, feeding two candidates. And from what I know, the other young man, Kachuku, who was a member of the party, and he was given the presidential ticket. And thereafter, the party expelled him, but he went on and presented himself as a candidate of the party. And even after the election, an aspirant went again and reconstituted in his own mind an ESCO of a political party, and then endorsed himself again after 4 years as a candidate of the party. And the media gives them this kind of impression that they are having a fashion.
No, we are there to serve the people.
There are services that will be disservice to the people. We don't misinform the public.
Cases are in court. There are so many litigations in court against that party. So for now, I asked the INEC spokesperson a while ago, what happens at the middle of elections? The pronouncements come from the court. What happens then? What will INEC do? So we will continue to give coverage to these persons until the electoral umpire or the judiciary come out to say, yes, this is our position. So for now, we can't deny them coverage. You understand? Because we are here for the people. Well, let's go back to your party. You know, whether you like it or not, a new political party that everybody wants to come in and see their own innovation, their ideology and everything, nobody expects this to happen at this time, just at this early stage of a political party. You wouldn't expect that to happen.
No, I think, you know, on the same day, on the 5th of February, the same day the DLA was announced registered, 2 political parties were announced registered, don't forget. And we've just had one person who feel dissatisfied. And this person didn't even go to the process of being involved in the primaries. And we've had, I don't know if you heard another person we conducted primaries across the country, and we followed our guidelines. And our guidelines is so clear, because don't forget, this is a leadership party. So we've already set the record for other political parties to emulate. If you look at what's going on in other political parties, you find out that for us, we have done so well. And this is the kind of leadership example we want to lay and present to Nigerians to follow. So for us, we are very much united, we are stronger, and we're still opening our doors for those who want to come into the party. And on a daily basis, we are still receiving Nigerians. And most especially, not just Nigerians who mean well, whose ideology aligns with the ideology and the principles of the party, and for us to move Nigeria forward.
Okay, Mr. FABIYI, let's now go to the call for a united opposition. You know, there have been several calls that if political parties are really serious about unseating the party in power, they should try and form a kind of coalition among themselves, because people believe that could help. What is happening to that united opposition from your end?
Well, thank you very much. Because of lack of time, I wouldn't want to go back to the background, but let me just say this. The convergence for coalition was for a purpose. And that purpose was to recover Nigeria from the abysmal failure of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government. That purpose was to...
Greatest Nigerian electorate! Greatest Nigerian! Greatest Nigerian electorate! Greatest Nigerian!
Down the line, few individuals, some of them, maybe perhaps because of their ambition I'd forgotten.
Greatest Nigerian electorate! Greatest Nigerian! Yes, we have come. No wasting our time. Have a duty.
I'm a government that has failed us. So now, you recall that a few weeks ago, there was this summit in Ibadan. Let us present a single plan. And I thought my chairman and his chairman it is not left for those who veer when they did so. It is not left for them to explain to them when they see part of their vision again. Because the fact that they are left, if they have been around, see that this is not impossible. It does not mean that it's impossible for APC to there was a clash, because some persons say that there was a clash of ambitions. Between who and who? Meanwhile, no, sir, clash of ambition between who and who? There are suggestions that some people have this lifetime ambition. Others are saying that the South deserves to complete their term. And I don't know, I'm not in your party, I don't know the inner workings of the party, but don't you think these parameters or these factors must have led to that crack or that division? Those who are hanging on this they are not being honest with themselves. There's nothing wrong in having an ambition, whether it's lifetime or short time. But what does democracy tell us? Democracy tells us, democracy talks about freedom of expression, freedom of this, to contest and all that. Is that not what democracy talk about? Now, if you are in a political party and the party tells you that we are going to follow the principle of democracy, if you feel you are very strong, you have what it takes, why can't you subject yourself to it? A lot of them that left wanted coronation. They don't want to go through the democratic process that allows for you to contest. So we know all of these ones. And for ADC, we don't have coronation in our democratic lexicon. And I don't even think our constitution have it. So those who want coronation left. So those who believe in the tenets of democracy stayed, and they went through the process. And you could see it, forget all those shenanigans of those who are making noise like Babashi Lawal and all the rest. He should have brought his evidence that the primaries was rigged in favor of anybody. But like you said, yes, the APC in 2014 came together with other political parties to unseat former President Goodluck Jonathan. Yes. Now, in that process, so many persons had to sacrifice for a presidential candidate to emerge. There was no sacrifice. There was no sacrifice. Everybody that are interested in the election went through the primaries. Please, let me correct that. There was no, everybody went, the party left it open. We have people from the south, we have aspirants from the north, and they went and one person won, which was late President Buhari. It's not about, everybody went to the process. If these elements have done this, if these characters have done this, we won't be talking about this. But because they have ulterior motive, they are either working for APC or they know what they are doing, they left. That's why they left. So that's it. Chairman, MEMEH, and now let's even come to your party. Do you believe in a united opposition? At least you have joined the fray now. So do you believe in that?
Yeah, I honestly believe in the united opposition, but not until after primary elections. So I do not believe that because we want to unseat the clueless ruling government, and then we should all forfeit or forgo our democratic processes, to bring in our respective aspirants and candidates. So it is after the exercise that the political parties should begin to look at the parameters upon which they can, be united. So this is actually the time. After this time around, after the primary election exercise, then the parties can begin to come together to see how we can, support one presidential aspirant or candidates of a particular platform, and it is possible. But what we are talking about in 2014 was that the guys came together and they formed one political party. So it is different from what we find ourselves right now. So right now we're not forming a political party, we're looking at how political parties can come together. The Ibadan Summit was a step in that direction, but
it failed.
It failed somehow, but I do not want to believe that it's completely a total failure. What they intended to achieve at that time was to support one candidate, choose one particular platform. But I knew it was not going to be possible.
Because even the governor that hosted that program is now in presidential.
Yes. So that's why I said many political parties do not believe that is the right time to really achieve that, because you can't ask political parties not to, conduct their primaries and elect their presidential aspirants or candidates. So after this exercise, they will now begin to look at who are the aspirants and the candidates, being nominated by this political party, and then we can find a common ground upon which one, if it is possible, but I know somehow it's going to be possible.
Political parties always keep saying unseating the current administration. We've seen that almost all the governors in this country are in one political party now. And funding is a critical aspect of elections. Do you think that these political parties we see in the opposition have the war chest to enter into this election?
Yeah, the election is between Nigerians and the APC-led government. And I wish this government is able to do, make certain policies that would, assuage Nigerians, to support them in one way or the other. But unfortunately, there appears to be no direction, no solution to the problems we find ourselves today. So it will be difficult. What Nigerians are looking at the political actors, for us to find a common ground. I do not, honestly, this is my personal opinion, I do not believe that there will be a worse president than President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So on this ground, that is my opinion, yes. On this ground, I believe that Nigeria should look around, and critical stakeholders as well should look at the candidates being presented by the various political parties. Then upon then, we should now begin to align. There is still time. We have about 4, 5, 6 months, before we go into the main campaigns, and then thereafter we can begin to look into that. So coalition is still very, very possible.
Well, Mr. Fabi, just give us your take on this.
Well, for me, I don't think the finality of this is finance, because I'll give an example. In 2014, the ruling government was PDP. PDP has everything, just like Tinubu has now. PDP has money, he has INEC, he has security, he has everything. Then what happened? That's why I support what he said. Nigerians are tired of APC government. And it's between them. Money will not even do it for them. Let them bring the money. We are going to tell Nigerians to collect the money because they've suffered them for 4 years. They should collect that money and still not do their bidding. We are coming there.
All right. Well, I must thank you so much for joining us on the program. Samuel MEMEH, National Chairman, Democratic Leadership Alliance, and ADC Chieftain, OLADIMEJI FABIYI. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's our program for today. You can send your comments and reactions via our official Twitter and other social media platforms, and we'll be here to respond to your questions. My name is Ogianave Udwimo. Bye for now.
US press. That is not true.
The truth of the matter is that, well, I wouldn't know what help us. Guys, we have serious watchers.
You think they find trouble?
Even if Fabi into low now.